Hey guys, welcome to the Hayworth Music Podcast. We're back another week. What's going on? Big GH here.
Hey everyone, what's happening? Chibs, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no worries. That's all right. Yep.
One of my
you got the written invite?
Got the written invite, yeah. We prepare so well, don't we? I just read the email like 15 minutes ago.
And it's normally
Wednesday morning.
It's normally sent at about 4:55 p.m. when it's like,
That's right.
Crap, I forgot about that.
And then Raf got the call up just this morning, didn't you, mate?
I
did.
Wandered
Well,
over to the shop, searching around. Who's here?
So welcome
I saw
to
you've
Matt Raff.
you got your Voltron shirt on.
I had to take my work shirt off because there were so many boxes of all the new stock we got for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to dirty up my good threads.
Yeah.
Don't you hate when we get so much stock?
I was sweating, carrying the boxes of drums upstairs. My calves were burning.
Damn
my
you,
quads.
Glenn!
Yeah.
Damn you!
You could definitely tell that was what Dylan was thinking. Our warehouse
Dill's
guy,
sad. I reckon you've got Dylan into like a spiral of despair that's going to last days.
Yeah.
He's moving house and he's moving.
And
like
he's moving.
We got 900 kilograms
Yeah.
of stock
2
yesterday.
houses worth of stock.
900
Almost a ton
kilograms.
worth of stock.
Almost a ton. That
Yeah,
close.
it's a lot of stuff.
I should have just
rounding.
parked the
With
truck
rounding.
and left it.
Yeah, that's it. Nah.
Or, you
But-
know, like just drop the stuff off at the shop.
What you need is a tilt tray where they just like back it up, beep, 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 and then just like hoist it up and it just will come sliding
See
down.
how much damaged stock there is. All the drum kits just roll off the back of the truck.
Fortunately, everything's in tip-top shape, ready to purchase.
Yeah. So that's the key in retail. Is to make sure that things are in good enough quality to buy.
We actually do take very good care of it if you're listening.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
It's
right.
safe to buy.
And shout out to Dill, because Dill just never complains. He'll just get in and just do it.
I did see him. He cried silently yesterday, though.
He'll come-
He wasn't complaining at all, but
Nah.
there was
I think
a tear.
he was
there
listening
a
to
lone
some-
tear rolling down his cheek.
That's right.
He had some Ramstein pumping through some headphones when he was carrying the boxes this morning. So
Do half still
Yeah,
make
yeah.
you work.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yep, bit of rage
Proper
today.
introduction then for our mate Raff.
Matt
here.
Raff. Welcome. Welcome.
Raphael van der Vaart.
Yeah. He's head of
So many
repairs here.
names, so many
He's head of
names.
repairs here at Shore Harbour. So repair
I've seen him repair.
whiz,
I've seen him repair a thing or two.
and also co-store manager here at Shore Harbour. So
it. Yeah.
up and run the ship.
Yeah.
And
no
and
job too small.
That's
Fixed a
right.
vacuum cleaner yesterday.
Fixing
Is it
vacuum
fixed?
cleaners.
It works a charm.
So was it user error or something's actually wrong with
Yeah,
it?
no, it just needed a bit of cleaning.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That
right.
filter, you got to empty it.
Yeah, you got to
Yep.
remember that these guys here are like 15 years old.
Their mum's vacuum for
Yeah,
them
that's
still.
right. Yeah, they don't know. They don't know.
Yep.
So I thought very good timing for a podcast because we got some very exciting news the
Yes,
other day.
Super exciting.
Yes.
Had Clay from Fender drop in. He's been on the podcast before. Shout out to Clay.
Clay is a legend, and he's a big man,
It's a big dude.
and he's got a big heart.
Massive heart.
Generous.
Generous guy.
Yeah, that's right.
He did something so generous for us this week.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah?
he, Chibs? Yeah.
Nice.
Well, he always comes
I don't
through
even
with the
know what
goods.
that is,
He always
so-
comes through with the goods.
Yes. Oh, he did. Yeah. I hear what Raf's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raf's team.
Basically got the hookup.
I'm teeing
That's
up.
it.
We got the
I'm teeing
hookup.
up.
We got
Raf's
the hookup.
teeing up what we're going to talk about.
Should we, is there a drum roll? Can we get a drum roll going here? Table drum roll.
Yeah.
You could have inserted a bit of
Oh,
actual drum roll.
I'd do so
on the
little
computer.
editing to this. And I'm sure if there's the people listening know
Yeah.
the amount of tape gun you normally hear in
That's
the background
right.
of everything.
That's Dill.
Oh,
So,
what a
yeah.
What's the news?
Japanese Fenders are back!
Yeah.
And we're getting them.
We
Only very
Yeah.
select places
Well, that's why Clay got in touch with us. He said,
we'll be doing them.
He said, Glenn, this is a special deal. We're only offering it to our best dealers. Hence, they called Hayworth, of course, and said this is a limited run they're doing, and there's a 6 guitars that you need to get, and we picked them out and we got them coming. So
Yeah.
It's exciting times.
How
Yeah.
far away are they? They're here. Like they're
apparently
in the country.
here.
They're with Fender.
So
Yeah.
Being
Few days.
processing the orders, make sure, because there's only limited stock,
Yeah,
that everyone that's put their orders in is going to be able to get what they've
They
ordered.
can actually allocate the
Yep.
right amount of stock.
And then they're sending them out.
yeah. So a
Yeah.
few
Exciting.
days. They'll be up on the website today.
yeah.
They'll be on the website today.
And what's exciting about these Japanese ones is that they're just so rare to get. Like Fender used to always just do their special edition models in Japan.
Yeah.
So you'd be getting kind of like your your Jags and things like that, which are sort of like your just different models.
Well, yeah, before there
Tele-customs.
was like the offset series that they were making in Mexico to
Yep.
get a Mustang or a Jag or anything. They were pretty much always Japanese. They were always Japanese.
That's
and
it.
they were hard to get.
Hard to get.
They took a long time.
Very
to
low
turn
stock.
up. Yeah.
Japan just have this thing. They make quality instruments, and they often keep their quantities quite low. And I think it's something to do with they.
Also, I think that because the actual market in Japan is so huge,
Yeah, that's
they
it.
don't really they don't need to export
Yeah,
all their
exactly.
instruments just to keep
Yeah.
themselves going.
That's
so
it. So most of the instruments end up staying in Japan.
Yeah.
That they make. So it is a huge market. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, let's say why, because some people are like, well, so what? It's Japanese. That's heaps far from America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Japanese guitars pretty much have had the reputation of being as good, if not better sometimes, than USA made guitars. And Japanese Fenders especially have always had this kind of like aura about them of being just different as well. Like your tellies, they always had the double bound tellies and these little features that you just couldn't get on a USA model.
Yeah.
That maybe like sound-wise or whatever, it was just as good as the USA, but they look different. There was something special about them, and they just look classy.
Yeah.
You say classy?
That's right. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
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 You can almost see them. You can almost pick them out.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all in the details.
Yeah.
And when you look at these guitars,
remember
I
seeing,
haven't
like-
seen these ones in particular
Yeah.
yet, of course, but when we get the special edition models, just all the details like the gloss finishes and the fretboards and the fret ends, and it's just the little details are just
Yeah.
slightly different to the American made ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which make them unique and make them special. So
And the
Still
other
think
part,
my favourite, you probably back me up on this, favourite bass, Aerodyne jazz bass.
Aerodyne is sleek.
Yeah.
So sleek.
So good.
it's like the
It's like a
S-series
stealth bomber.
Ibanez.
Which is
kind
pretty,
of-
which is pretty much the only consistent Japanese model that you've been able to get for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like almost like an S series Ibanez thin body.
Yeah.
But they sound like active pickups.
That was Japanese, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's been Japanese. Yeah,
Oh,
Aerodyne.
very cool.
Yeah. So that's a perfect example of just taking like that
Yeah,
classic Fender design, but doing some crazy Japanese stuff with it.
that's it.
Yeah.
So what are these models that we got coming, Raph? You've got a bit of a list there. Clay
do.
did tell me, but I
Wasn't
remember when
listening.
we picked it out. But it was just like basically said yes, and I brought Nick into it because Nick's a massive Fender fan, and he's super excited about this as well.
Hair's
so
really curly as well.
that's it.
Yeah.
Got curly hair, so it'll probably be one of those days where sometimes he ties it up into a man bun.
It depends.
It'll be
Yeah.
like that as soon as we get these Fenders.
Yeah.
It's a special day when he does that.
Tied back.
Special day. Special day.
Speaking of the man bun, Chips, I've noticed you've been going the man bun lately.
No, I need a haircut.
Chibs looks a lot like Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With
Speaking of
the
Japanese.
tied
Speaking
back
of Japan.
man
It's
bun,
very
yeah.
current.
How's
Very
that?
current, Raph.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
All right, well,
Tight
Ralph's going to
segues.
take over this podcast now. See ya.
He's prepared for this.
Yeah.
He's done his
I've
research.
prepared in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So tell us about these Fender guitars.
All right,
Which ones
so
we
I'm going to
get?
go through the list here of what we're getting. So what we're getting is 6 Japanese Fenders.
Woo.
First up, we have and most of these are classic series guitars, so classic 60s, classic 70s. So they're remodels of vintage guitars.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're
Yep.
not doing. It's not to rival the American Pro, American Elite. These are vintage guitars.
Yep.
Made new, made in Japan. They're made in Japan, not crafted in Japan.
What's the difference?
What it says on the guitar.
Right. What? So
These are
what
made
did
in
they say?
Japan, not crafted.
What did they say when they say
if you-
crafted in Japan?
Well, and I may be wrong on my details here, but I'm pretty sure.
It's never stopped us before.
Yeah, I know. If I say allegedly,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'm
No.
my disclaimer. Allegedly, crafted in Japan guitars are not as sought after as made in Japan guitars. And made in Japan
Sounds like a forum
Made
thing.
in Japan. Yeah, oh yeah. If you get on
Big
like,
old forum
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
this
get
one,
on
yeah.
the forum. Made in Japan is 100% Japanese made.
Right.
Crafted in Japan is
What,
assembled
parts-
is assembled
parts
in
from
Japan.
other places or
Yeah,
Maybe some
something?
parts
Or-
from Korea. Or I'm not
Yeah,
allegedly
okay. Yeah.
not 100% authentic made in Japan.
Right.
These guitars
Made.
in Japan.
Right,
And it says
okay.
made in Japan
Yep.
on the guitar.
All right,
so what we're getting, I'll go through the list here. A classic 60s Stratocaster with a rosewood fretboard in Cherry Burst.
Cherry Burst always looks
Comes
good.
with a gig bag. Cherry Burst, like the blossoms.
Yeah.
Cherry blossoms in Japan. That's where they got the colour from,
You reckon?
He
allegedly.
has done his research. I'm telling you.
I'm
How has he done his
super
research?
skeptical.
In
Super
the,
skeptical
in the
about that
15
one.
minutes notice we gave him, how did he do all this research?
Background knowledge.
Maybe he's got one of
Background
those
knowledge.
like Google chips in his head or something.
Yeah, he's got
That's
the
right.
Google,
Yeah.
Google glasses,
Yeah.
Google contacts.
Yeah.
Yep. So most of the guitars we're ordering are coming with rosewood fingerboards, which
Yeah,
is
right.
a special considering the bands on rosewood these days.
So rebellious.
Yep. Well, they've got the rosewood and they're using it. They're using it in Japan.
Yeah.
So classic Strat, rosewood, Cherry Burst comes with a gig bag. In fact, all of these come with gig bags. Classic 60s Tele Custom with a
Yeah.
rosewood board in a 3-colour sunburst.
That'll be
Yeah.
classic.
That'll
So
be-
Tele-Customs double bound with
Yeah.
the contoured back and no,
Yeah, no,
don't.
we'll have,
They don't
we'll have the
contoured back.
humbuckers,
No
the
contour.
humbuckers, and the four
Ah,
controls.
like a 72 sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But the bound bodies on them
Bound
look
body.
amazing.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, in a 3-colour burst. They'll probably have like nice cream binding on there. Again, I haven't actually seen the guitar.
What?
I haven't seen it.
Just painting a picture.
Right.
Painting
yeah,
a picture.
Paint that picture.
Yep.
This is
Then
an
we're moving
audio
on.
format.
Yeah.
We've got some offsets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic 60s Jazzmaster with a rosewood board in a 3-tone sunburst.
What do you think of Jazz Masters?
I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm unsure of bridges on these offsets often,
Yeah.
but
Japanese though.
Japanese
It'll be top
craftsmanship.
notch.
Yep.
I'm so torn with Jazz Masters only because I think they look unbelievably cool.
Yep.
But
I remember the J. Maskus Jazzmaster,
Yeah.
that purple
Yeah,
sparkle
yeah.
thing. Man, those things were
Yeah.
wicked.
But I feel like if I played one, it'd sound horrible. That's me personally playing it. I could not get one to sound good.
Well, modern indie music, though, heaps of those guys are playing offset
Yeah, I know,
guitars
but
because
they're
that's
so-
the tone.
but-
That's how they get their tone.
Aren't they noisy?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Background noise.
Because
Once you
it's got
start
the
playing,
big
you don't hear
single
that
coils.
noise.
Yeah, it's got
yeah.
big single coils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you crank up a bit of distortion, you get a little bit of that, but that's
Because
a
old
lot of the...
playing.
mate from Incubus
Yeah.
uses a Jazz Master, and you kind of go like, well,
How?
how many noise gates does he have?
Probably several. Probably several.
But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're playing in the band, I mean,
Yeah.
it's all going to fit in with the drums and
guess.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
But that's
that's-
part of it is that the tone of the Jazzmaster stands out
it does
as
Yeah,
being
yeah.
different to a Strat or a Tele or
Yeah.
a Les Paul or you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
it's got its own unique thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're getting 2 of them.
Wicked.
Yep.
Yep. So the 3-colour sunburst and the old candy apple red.
That's good. Well, they are like as far as Japanese ones goes. When you think of normally when you think of Japanese Fenders, you think of Jazz Masters, Jags, Mustangs,
Yeah.
all those sort
All
of
those
things. Like
80s 80s Strats.
because they were the best. They were the
Yeah.
best Japanese models.
Yeah.
Well, they were pretty much the only. They didn't even make
Yeah, that's
US.
right.
They didn't even make USA ones.
So that's
Yeah.
that's where they came
that's
into
right.
their own as
Yeah,
being
yeah.
World Commando in the 80s, from 84 to 88. They built them all in Japan.
Stats.
They built them all in Japan.
Today's research.
So they rebuilt. Well, so a bit of Fender history. I believe in '84 they rebuilt their American facility in Fender in America, rebuilt, and they weren't building
Right.
Strat Teles or anything
yeah.
allegedly
for ages or something.
for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
In America, they
Okay.
built them all in Japan,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
which is why they were so. And now they're so in demand, those guitars, because
Yeah.
they were just, you know. It came at the end of CBS owning Fender, and
Yeah.
things weren't going real great for them.
Yeah.
They did this big venture.
Fender Japan.
They
saved
did in
it.
Japan. The Japan models were incredible.
Yeah.
And then they went back to America, and there was, maybe some teething issues. So the late 80s, early 90s, people were like, oh, well, the
Japanese
Fenders were
ones still
better.
won't
Like,
go.
I want
Yeah,
a Jap
yeah,
one.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just carried on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Was
back
that
to
when the
models.
Transformers movie came out?
Um,
A bit late,
Yeah.
late 80s?
yeah, 80. I'm going to say 86, but it might be 88. Might have been 88.
We'll have to look into that. We'll get back to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is my favourite movie. Anyway. So we've got 2 Jazz Masters. Now,
Nice.
I'm excited about the old Candy Apple Red.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be like a slightly aged Candy Red. So it's not going to be like your brand new, shiny, new
Right.
Mexican
Old.
straight and Candy Apple Red. It's,
Yeah, but
it's
they
old
don't-
Candy Apple Red.
They don't.
It's not a
road
relic
one.
or
Not
They
anything.
road
It's
red-
just
it's
the
not
fin-
relic
the
to
You just
finish.
mean the finish is just that different colour sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the old school
Yeah.
Candy Apple Red,
That's mad.
which would be cool. So we've got the two Jazz Masters in three colour burst, old candy apple red. Classic 60s Jaguar in old candy apple red
Yeah.
as well, which is pretty exciting.
Yep.
So we're getting a Jag, two Jazz Masters, a Strat and a Telly. And the last guitar that we're getting, hopefully...
The last guitar we picked out ourselves, Nick picked this one out because to get these guitars we had to order certain models, and this final one is one that Nick's picked out himself as an additional one.
And this one I'm super excited about. I love my 70s gear.
Big old headstock.
Love a big headstock.
Yeah.
This is a Telly, so it might not have the huge headstock. I actually have a 75 Jazz bass and a 75 Telly custom.
Oh,
I
right.
love them. What we're getting here is classic 70s Telly with an ash body, which was super common in the 70s, in the USA Blonde,
Nice.
which is like that butterscotch blonde kind of colour, but
more
a little
American.
but a bit paler
Yeah.
and more American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And,
Bruce Springsteen in a guitar.
Yeah. You can imagine
He's
the
the
E
most
Street Band
American
he's
person
playing
of all time, isn't
if
he?
he was playing an American Fender.
Yeah.
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 But this is a Japanese one, which,
It's more,
which
it's
makes
more
it
like
better.
Tom Cruise, Last Samurai.
So, like,
Yeah,
if instead of a samurai sword, he had a guitar,
Yeah,
it'd be
that's
this
it.
guitar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's super exciting. Also the gig bag. So that's the classic 70s Telly. So it's going to have a slightly more modern or 70s sound than the 60s
Yeah.
other gear.
Yep.
Ash body is exciting. And that was something that they were doing a lot of in the 70s.
Yeah, that's cool.
Not so much in the 60s.
Yeah.
I believe, although I'm unconfirmed because Nick didn't give me this spec, that this one will have a maple board.
Ooh.
But I would have to double
Mix it
check
up.
that because that's
Mix
not
it
on my
up.
list here.
Nice. So nice.
Yeah.
Nice guitars coming, and good to see a few different models too. Like, it's just going to be really cool to have in the store.
Oh, for sure.
The Telly Custom
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jags, Jazz Masters.
Yeah.
you
We'll
know.
get these up on. They'll be up on the website today as well. We'll
Yeah.
make like an own category for it on the website.
Yeah.
So if you go,
And there
if you
is-
search by brands and go to Fender Japan,
Yeah.
and you'll find them.
And there is
Nice.
a Strat there for the purists.
Yes.
So, everybody's got a chance to snap one of
Everyone's
these up.
happy.
Yep.
We don't expect these to last a long time either.
No, that's right.
So that's why we're
hopefully
getting them
we
up
can get more,
online.
but they can't guarantee it apparently.
Yep.
So-
So
Yeah,
limited
saying,
quantity
yeah.
available while stocks last. So if you're keen on one of these,
Yeah.
Hit us
get
up.
to a website,
Yeah.
email Matt Bragg through the website,
Yeah.
and he will
Or
be
call
able
the
to help
shop.
you out. Or call the shop.
Yeah. And just quickly too, did you guys see the George Harrison Telly that we just got in
I
recently?
saw the photo. Did
my
you
goodness.
put a photo up?
I put a photo up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I took it straight to Wollongong because Ryan Beveridge had ordered it for himself. Didn't even tell me, by the way. He was just like,
Oh,
yeah,
Is
actually.
he gonna get fired?
No, but he ordered this guitar and came in and was like, this is for Ryan. I'm like, I didn't know Ryan was getting the guitar. Anyway, took it to Wollongong and
Fired him.
and saw the guitar and just all
Rosewood.
All rosewood.
Is it heavy?
Rosewood neck. Nah, because they chambered the
Chamber the body
and everything. Yeah.
The original
I don't
one
think
that
George
the original one
wouldn't
that
have
they made
chambered
for
it.
George wasn't chambered and apparently was real heavy.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one's
So it's
chambered.
nothing like George Harrison's.
Still a
guitar.
solid rosewood neck.
He'll be listening.
He's just like crying now. He's got it at home. He's like, I can't enjoy it anymore.
no.
Chip
Sorry.
said it wasn't like George's.
Sorry, Ryan.
No. He's it was a really
It
cool
looked
guitar.
wicked though. It
Yeah.
looked
They
really
made
good.
only a select number of those rosewood
so
tellies.
hard
It
to
was
get.
really rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, with the rosewood bands that are in place, they had excess timber. They had this guitar in the pipelines. They thought, we're going to go ahead and do this because we're never going to get a chance to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be once
Well,
that lot's
they
gone.
can't use rosewood.
they
it's
can
illegal.
Use, they can use what they've got.
Yeah.
As long as they've got certificates for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
No more.
no more.
No
so
more.
they can't get more of it.
No.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to make a rosewood telly ever again.
Yeah,
that window's closing.
You'll actually
Yeah.
see this as well on the website, and you'll probably start to see it across everyone's websites. That Fender are basically re-releasing like all their models,
Yeah.
and they have PF
New fretboards.
PF
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
in the code now,
Yeah.
which is for what is it? Is it
Pao Ferro.
Pao Ferro?
So spelt PAO
Yeah.
FERRO, 2 words.
Yeah, yeah.
Pao Ferro.
That's the timber they're using for the fingerboards now instead of rosewood because you can't
Yeah,
use
correct.
rosewood anymore.
And where they get the timber from? Is it? Where is it?
Well, I believe it's African timber
Yeah.
again, and it's got similar properties to rosewood, but it's
Yeah.
a bit lighter in colour.
Yeah, it looks
and
a
that's,
little
until you get your hands on it and have a play, like it's kind of hard to define.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will be coming. They'll be starting to roll
Well, they're
out.
already starting to replace. There's heaps of models that have already been replaced. Like they've sold
Yeah.
out of the versions that had rosewood,
Yeah.
and they won't ever exist anymore. So
Yeah.
if you're desperate to have a rosewood model, I'd jump on it ASAP.
Yeah.
Good thing about Fender too, though,
Wanna be
is like
around
they're
for
not
long.
like some other companies who dive in head first without doing research to this sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like they're just like,
Like Gibson.
I think they did some
was gonna say?
market research.
no, I
They
would
did a bit
say
of market research on
Come
those
on, the
robot
robots.
tuners. They asked robots what
Yeah,
they thought, and they said, "Well,
Yeah.
I watched Terminator, and I think we should put these on every single guitar.
no, I would say, well,
We
I
just
wasn't
lost our
gonna,
Gibson again.
I wasn't going to go there, but
I did.
But yeah, they do their research. You know, they're one of those companies that they're obviously not going to do this if it doesn't make sense. And so it's obviously very similar to Rosewood, and it's sustainable.
Well,
So-
I'm not as worried about it. With Cole Clark mixing up their fingerboards and everything and doing that, and you kind of see like, well, Black Beans sounds better than the Rosewood
yeah,
on their
Yep.
models.
Yep.
So go nuts. Let's try some
Yep.
different timbers
let's
out.
find something."
yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that you were going through updating all the models on the website and everything.
Yep.
So
There's heaps. So if you see PF in the code,
Description:
yep, it's got
Peo Ferro
yeah, it's got
fingerboard.
the new fingerboard.
yeah,
All right, let's debate.
yes,
All right, it's a very decisive topic today,
yes.
and
We're going Oriental this whole thing.
Well, yeah, it is, isn't
It's
it?
very,
Totally.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting sushi for lunch.
I just thought this was. I've had this come up so much lately via live chat and everything with just people asking me, "Where's this guitar made? Where's this guitar made? Where's
Yeah.
this guitar made?" It's a very common question. It's fair enough. But I'm always super surprised that when you say this guitar's made in China,
Yeah,
people are turned off instantly. Whether it's a price point thing or this or that or whatever.
yeah.
And then it makes me sort of think, have they ever played one of these? Like, if you blindfold tested someone, would you know that there's like, is the quality that bad?
Yeah, yeah.
Because my personal experience is that most China, I don't think cheap and nasty can exist anymore.
Yeah. Not with branded, not with
no.
brand names.
I'm talking brands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you go buy like, X,
Yeah.
the X Factor guitar from
Yeah, yeah.
eBay,
Yeah.
probably going to be pretty av.
Yeah, that's it.
But if you're buying a Fender or a Squier or an Epiphone or a Schecter or an Ibanez,
Yeah,
quality control is so important, and
yeah,
it's so easy to diss something now and totally just write it off.
yeah,
Yeah.
You can't have something that's cheap and nasty. And
yeah,
if you go to look through facilities in China and how they're building these guitars,
Yeah.
they're state of the art.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're
yeah.
more state of the art than going to Fender in the States.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
It's and so I can't. It sort of irks me when people are like, I'm not paying that
Just
much.
a stigma, isn't it?
Not
It's
paying that much for a Squier. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I play a Squier jazz bass, and it's probably one of the best basses I've ever had.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had lots.
I picked that out.
Yeah,
I got that in for you.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, and it retails for $1,000.
Yeah.
People's like Chinese for $1,000. It's like, get
Yeah.
used to it.
Yeah,
Get used
yeah.
to it. Like
Yeah.
this is where most instruments are going to be made. But the quality, in
Yeah.
my opinion, if you're getting a brand,
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
Amazing. Indonesia, China.
yeah. Indonesia as well. Yep.
It's all I can say is forget it.
Yeah.
Forget that.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
shouldn't be a factor.
Yeah.
Play it.
Yeah,
How does it feel? How does it sound?
yeah, yeah.
Have you guys?
If they tick the boxes, good guitar.
yeah. Have you guys
100%.
seen and played? Obviously, we sell them. The Ibanez Premium range guitars.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 They're made in Indonesia,
Yeah,
and
I
they
know.
are
Yeah.
out of control
Yeah.
good.
You would not know.
Unbelievably
You
good.
would not know you weren't playing a Japanese.
Yeah,
That's right.
stage.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
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 They're
They look
really
exactly the
good.
same. They've got the same pickup, same
Yeah.
specs,
Yeah.
same hardware.
The finishing on them is just it's
Extreme.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
perfect.
and
isn't it?
and then you go, well, they're made in Indonesia, so I'm not, oh nah,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to look at it. You
Yeah.
go, what?
Yeah.
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 Well, that's the thing. So when we were growing up, and obviously before our time, even the baby boomers growing up, made in China was always a dodgy.
Yeah. Yeah.
that was kind of like
Yeah.
you get cheap stuff, it's made in China.
Yeah.
Because there was so much manufacturing going on in Australia and America at that time. You
Yeah.
know? And now, as we talked to Miles on the podcast a few episodes ago, just not feasible to manufacture things in Australia anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to go overseas. But as that's happened over the decades, quality's improved.
Yeah.
Like it's just
So
not,
even
it's just
America,
not like what it
America
used to
can
be.
still do it because their minimum wage is so
Yeah,
small
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, if you look at, like we talked to Miles about, Australia has the highest wages in the world.
Yep.
If you look us up compared to America, compared to Canada, compared to anywhere in Europe, and obviously compared to Asia, that Australia has the highest wages in the world.
Yep.
And if you don't want to pay $4,000 for a guitar, then you know it's gonna be made somewhere.
Yeah.
Like well, Cole Clark, you know, a couple of grand, but that's because we get them straight from the
That's
factory here
right.
in
Yeah,
Australia.
there's no middleman there.
But you talk about American when,
But
you know,
say in a $500 price point
yeah,
for an electric guitar, it's going to be made in China or Indonesia.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be sick.
Some of them come.
that's my
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Those is it the AI? What's the RGA Ibanez? The arch tops. They're like $7.99.
Yeah, the blue one in there.
Yeah.
I was talking to you this
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Incredible.
yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That it's that much money.
And one I've
Yeah.
been blown out with lately is the Gretsch Streamliners.
Oh yeah,
which
that's
is
perfect
just
example.
under $1,000 retail.
Yeah.
And you play them, you're just like, how do they make a guitar for this? This is
Yeah.
insane. All the features, good
But
pickups.
also they hang up
the
next
bling,
to
arch top.
Korean and Japanese models.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
don't look out of place.
Yeah,
No,
that's right.
they fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, so the value's there, and I mean, it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too, kind of thing. You know, people want
Yeah.
want to spend, you know, like less than $1,000 sometimes on a nice guitar.
Yeah.
And cool, it's going to be a nice guitar.
Yeah.
And it's going to be made in China or Indonesia,
Yep.
somewhere like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the
I just,
quality's still going to be
I'd
there.
like the
so.
stigma to go. I understand, like you've got the older
Yeah.
generation that was around when it was rubbish,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Like, so what you bought there was horrible.
yeah,
But the last probably 5-10 years,
yeah.
that's turned around. And when you have like you're in the shop, whatever, and you have a young dude who's like 15 or whatever, and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
dissing anything made in Indonesia and China,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
want to. You make them go in the air room and
Yeah,
try
yeah,
it.
that's
So
it.
try it.
Everybody
That's what it
learns. You
takes.
learn from experience,
Yeah.
you know, like if that's what they've heard. But I
Yeah.
mean, it comes back to what Glenn was saying a minute ago. Manufacturing here is not possible anymore.
Yeah.
Because the quality of what's coming out of Asia is so exceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can do it for so much cheaper than we can do it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the reason that everything's coming from there is because it's so good.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
And
right. Yeah.
cost effective.
Yeah.
The governments allow them to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier to do it in a central location
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
distribute. And that's the centre of the world.
that's it.
Yeah, that's
China.
right.
That's
Yeah.
where it is.
And honestly, I think we could all say, since we've been here, have we not all seen, say, Epiphone, Les Paul Standard that looks absolutely immaculate, and we've all pulled out a USA Gibson that's
I was
been
gonna say that.
absolute
yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say dog, but I would say
Dog!
when you get, I love my Gibsons. I got a Les
I love
Custom.
I
my
love
Gibsons.
myself Gibson as well, but I have seen that. I've
Well, the-
cut my hand on a fret on a Gibson.
Well, the thing
before.
is,
Yes.
Yeah.
see a lot of these. So the Gibsons, right? Let's talk about them. So love my Gibsons, awesome guitars. They do nitrocellulose finishing.
Yeah.
And because they are probably more hands-on than when you go into China and Indonesia for these
Yeah.
guitars in more of a production line sort of setup.
Robots
They're-
and
they're-
lasers.
They're more
CNC
hands-on,
machine.
and the custom shop stuff is really hands-on. So you're going to get some human imperfections too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just those real little things where you can look at it and see there's a few more imperfections.
Yep.
And because of the nitrocellulose too, it really shrinks back
Shrinks.
into the cavities of the guitar,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
where the fretboard meets the
Yep.
neck and the neck joint and things like that.
That's sort of the
lacquer
that's the
shrinks back.
character of the
Exactly
guitar
right.
as well.
Yeah, so you look around at a Gibson and you might see some of those things, and that's the lacquer shrinking back because that's what nitrocellulose does, rather than cracking and things like that,
Yeah.
like polyurethane can do. So it's just the character of the guitar too, and often when you go to those to get your US guitars like that, you can notice more imperfections than you would because it's maybe more of a hands-on
Yeah.
approach. That's the kind of the way I see it as well, and there's different ways of looking at it, but I've noticed that like you said with the Gibsons, and that's it. And it's not like I wouldn't say they're quality controls any less. I would just say that's just what happens.
It's just what
and-
happens during the construction of that guitar.
Yeah, and that's what happens when the
compared to-
lacquer shrinks back as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah.
you just notice those things. So,
100%.
But that's part of what you're buying when you buy a Gibson.
yeah.
You're buying something that's been finished with nitro by
Yeah.
hand,
Yeah.
as opposed to something that goes into a spray booth and gets pumped with plastic filler.
Yeah, yeah.
like a polyurethane.
That's it.
And that's
Yeah.
the character of it.
Yeah.
And the truth is, you might pay $6,000 for a Gibson that's treated like that, and that's how they finish it. Takes heaps longer, costs way more money to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So the price tag goes up.
Yeah.
You can have that guitar 6 months, and that finish, that nitro finish, can already be starting to show signs of stress.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's what a Gibson is.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what a Gibson is,
it.
and that's
Yeah.
part of the appeal to it.
Yeah.
And that's when I got...
they sound
I
better.
got that white Les Paul Custom, remember, probably about 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And the lacquer shrunk back into where the fretboard meets the neck, and you could tell like there was lines along there and that sort of thing. Just part of it.
Yeah.
Just part
Yeah.
of what it does. Having a guitar like that with nitro. Yeah. So anyway, but like we were saying, Chibs, I think the debate. I don't
The
think.
stigma.
I think we're all.
Stigma.
I think
I
we're
don't
all.
want the stigma.
I think we're all on the same side here with this debate.
Yeah.
I'd like to end this section with maybe a proverb,
Oh, go.
Chinese proverb.
Yes.
Since we're talking about Chinese guitars, there was a Chinese man on the side of the road, and he's selling pots, clay pots for sale. Some of them are $1, some of them are $10. And a man walks up and says to the man, "I'd like to buy a pot." And the man says, "Well, which pot would you like to buy?" And he says, "They all look like the same pots to me." And he says, "Well, they are the same pot." So the man's looking at the pots, thinks to himself, and he says, "Well, why is this one $10 and that one's only $1? And the Chinese man says, "Well, some people like to pay $10, some people like to pay $1.
Take that.
Nice. Chinese proverb.
Chinese proverb.
There you go. Practice.
Stew on that.
I like it.
Yeah. Something to think about.
Make you think.
Something to think about.
Gee. It's amazing because I literally just pulled him out of the shop like
Yeah.
a couple of minutes ago and said, "You need to come do the podcast."
I think he's been waiting for the call
and it's
up.
just like, it's just ever
Been
since that
waiting all
first
these
time,
weeks.
ever since months ago, when it's like, "Rash, can you just come over and tell us about your Fender?" He's like, "I better think of some Chinese proverbs."
He's been waiting
Next
for the
time
call
I'll be
up.
ready.
He's been training. He's been looking at proverbs. He's been waiting.
So, music for the mind, GH. What
Yes.
do you got for us this week?
Okay, I've got music improves your visual and verbal skills. So allow me to elaborate on this one. This one comes from, I looked up collectiveevolution.com. And this comes from here. So it improves your visual and verbal skills. Several studies have shown that music education at an early age stimulates the child's brain in a number of ways that helps to improve verbal skills, communication skills, and visual skills. A study that looked to 4 to 6 year olds who were subject to 1 month of musical training that included training in rhythm, pitch, melody, voice, and basic musical concepts resulted in enhanced ability to understand words and explain their meaning. A study using subjects that were 8 to 11 years old found that those who were involved in extracurricular music classes were developing higher verbal IQs, and the visual activity was greater than those who were not receiving the training. Even children as young as 1 year old who participated in interactive music lessons with their parents had a greater ability to communicate, smiled more frequently, and were showing greater signs of sophisticated brain responses to music.
That is hectic.
There you go. That's pretty insane, right?
Yeah. As young
So-
as 1 year old.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Now, I've talked about it before too. I was talking to a body language expert at a seminar I was at recently, and he talks about he's not even a musician himself, but he said it's so good for kids to learn music because their motory sensors in their hands, the quicker their motor sensors in their hands develop, the quicker their brain develops. It all ties in together. Yeah, so that's, you can tell why. Obviously the stats are there. They've done studies on it. Visual and verbal skills improve, and that's just another benefit of music. And in this case, playing music.
Get on it.
Get on the train. It's leaving the station.
All right, thanks, guys. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review.
Yes.
You can also hit us up at haywithguitars.com.au, haywithdrumroom.com.au for all you drummers.
Yes.
And get us on Facebook,
Get on social media, Instagram.
Yep.
We're all over the place, all over the World Wide Web.
Yeah, all over it.
Thanks, Raph. Thanks, Tubes. Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Cool. Latest.
Peace.
Peace.